Let's look at the solutions to the practice problems now that you've done them. The first two, we're just going to go ahead and solve for y. So I'm trying to get the y value by itself. I'm going to move the x term to the other side. Here it's positive, so I'm adding 5x. So to undo that, I need to subtract 5x. Whatever I do on one side, got to do on the other side. So I'm going to be left with the opposite of y, and I'm going to keep this x first, then the constant. So negative 5x plus 3, that puts it in mx plus b. You can see that I've got a negative y, and what I want is y. So I'm going to divide this by negative 1, because that's what that is, negative 1 times y. Got to do the same thing on the other side. Dividing by negative 1 just changes the sign of everything. So I'm left with y equals negative 5 divided by negative 1 is 5x. And 3 divided by negative 1 is negative 3. So this would tell me that I need to start my line with a y-intercept of negative 3. So I go to negative 3 on the y axis, plot that point, then use the slope of 5. That's like saying 5 over 1. So that means go up 5, right 1. So from that point on my y-axis, I go up 5 over 1. Let's do one more of those so that we get 3 points to make a nice line. And again, let's be using a straight edge for those. Okay, on the second one, I want to get this y by myself, so I've got to move everything to the other side. I have negative 5x, so I'm going to add 5x to both sides. That leaves me with 10y equals 5x plus 20. I'm going to divide both sides by 10. So I'm left with just y on the left side, and then I'm going to divide 5x by 10, which leaves 1/2 x. 5 divided by 10 is reduced to 1/2. And I'm going to divide 20 by 10, which is just plus 2. Okay, so let's put our y-intercept of plus 2 on our graph. Then I'm going to have a slope of 1/2. So I'm going to go up 1 over 2. I'm going to put in a couple of points, and then I'm going to draw that line in. Okay, in the other method, we said I can use the two intercepts, the x-intercept and the y-intercept. If you remember, the x-intercept comes when I'm on the y-axis. So that means on the x-axis. X-intercepts when I'm on the x-axis, so the y value will be 0. If I'm multiplying anything times 0, I'm going to get 0, so x is equal to 8. And I can kind of just use the cover-up method with my finger. Like I can cover up that whole thing, and that just shows me that x is equal to 8. Then if I come back and erase that, if I'm looking for the y-intercept, I'm going to plug in x as 0. So I'm going to get 0 for x plus 4y equals 8. I'm going to solve that, where 4y equals 8. So y is equal to 2. I'm going to plot that. Okay, and then I can draw this in. I've got that first line. I can use the same method with the second one. If I want the x-intercept, then the y value becomes 0. And I get 2x equals negative 12. So x is equal to negative 6. X is equal to negative 6. Come back, and now I'm going to erase this. And if I want the y value, I'm going to plug in 0 for x. So I'm going to have 2 times 0 minus 6y equals negative 12. Anything times 0 is 0, so I just have negative 6y equals negative 12. Divide by negative 6. And I'm going to have y equals positive 2. Okay. I'm going to draw on that line. So that's the two different methods. You can always just remember solve and get it to look like y equals mx plus b, the slope-intercept form, or you can use the x and the y intercepts. So you've got some homework that is graphing from standard form. When you're done with this, take the picture, upload it to the Google Classroom.